But everybody's here. Why don't we do the draft? Yeah, so all right, Bird fan picks Vikings. Next is Ronald Rage.
Bird fan instantly.
Yeah, for the third time picking Vikings. This first qualifier has a really good spread of players as well. Bird fans like 800. Ronald Rage is 1300. Ronald Rage takes Ethiopians. Next we have Guras Toby Bufas around 1650. Takes Franks. Teutonic Tanks is next. A favorite for sure. Takes the Slavs. Excellent choice. Randy is next.
King Marvin's not happy
Magyar.
about that.
Oh, F you. Yeah, I thought he was saying fully upgraded. I was wondering what he was talking about. Yeah, Randy is pissed at Slavs taking or at tanks taking Slavs.
Yeah, we don't have like an official draft screen, guys. So I'm just gonna share the Discord here,
Yeah, I thought we should.
and you guys can check it out. But literally just drafting in the room here. So we'll run with this. But yeah, once everyone has their selections in, we'll get underway.
Yeah, King Marv needs to think. His choice was sniped out from under him. I've heard rumblings that Bohemians are considered very strong. I always thought Goths were very strong. Uh, I suppose it's really unclear what the top tier picks are for these settings, and we get Teutons as well and Khmer. Cool. All right, draft complete. Let's get this game popping.
Yeah, they'll fire up here, guys, and we'll be underway. As you can see, just waiting for this to fire up here on my screen. We'll go back to this beautiful screen I made. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you very much. And again, huge shout out to Medora. They're sponsoring this entire event, and we couldn't be more thrilled about that. It's going to be insane.
Yes, and Medora, instant payments at any price. They're like an online payment processor. So if you have an e-commerce store or a game and you want to do some, you want to be able to accept payments, they have a possible solution for you.
Indeed, indeed. All right, I told them when they're ready, let's go. So, just waiting for them to launch, guys. Game number 1 will be underway. It is on Arabia, or Jungle Arabia, rather. So, just waiting for them to go. Jabari, huge thank yous to this guy over here, by the way. He's done a lot of the adminning work and a lot of the player communication, setting up the games, the map editing, and whatnot.
Well, if you love doing it, it isn't really work. But yeah, it's been a lot of work.
Indeed, indeed. And then a huge shout out to Annie HK for creating mods for us. Jabari, if you want to talk about those.
Why don't we wait till we're in game to see the mods? They kind of speak for themselves.
All right.
Yeah, but no, the lineup for this first game is, like I'm saying, maybe the best balanced one we have. We have like players at every 200 elo marker, all the way up to 2300. But a lot of these free for all guys who signed up seem to really be discounting RM 1v1 as a way to judge skill. Like, I know we have a lot of people who are well below 2K, like 1400 players, who seem to think they have a strong chance. And in this first qualifier in particular, Teutonic Tanks, he told me not to talk about it, but now that the game's actually starting, we can talk about it. He's actually won multiple pro tournaments with very similar settings in the King of the Hippo series. He clearly has the format figured out to some extent.
Yes, why would he want that information shared?
He seemed to accept that it would inevitably come out in the cast, but I guess in advance he didn't want people scouting him or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, guys, 1 minute and we'll be underway here. Exciting times. We got all of these magnificent players lined up for you guys. Today we'll have 2 games. This Arabia game being game 1, and then game 2 will be on Arena.
Jungle Arena.
Yeah, all right, Jungle Arena.
The maps are identical to the stock versions, except for the fact that a little bit of extra land around the Wonder is revealed.
Yeah, which was requested, and I think it actually makes a lot of sense because then players can kind of have a better idea of what they're going up against. So if someone's trying to fortify the middle, it makes it much more difficult.
Yeah, it also makes it easy.
We lost your mic there, Jabari, so he'll be back in a second, I'm sure. But yeah, guys, game is about to fire up. As you can see, the players, they have all their civs there listed, and we'll go from here. We are trying this out at 250 pop due to popular belief that this was going to be better. So we'll see how that works out. If there are any connection issues, lag, anything like that, though, then we'll have to reassess. Jabari is back. I hear him now.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there.
Indeed, indeed. Game one, man. Here we go. Capture Age does not like to do the countdown of the monument, so we'll just go with the traditional view here, and we'll set up the population on the bottom.
Sounds good. Should we go around and introduce the players?
Certainly. Slavs for Teutonic Tanks here in orange. He is our game host today, and he has chosen the Slavs, which made King Marv a little bit upset, but he'll survive. Bird Fan, our low elo legend over here. I think his elo's like 700 or 800, and he will be playing with the Vikings in purple. Guras Toby Bufus here with the Franks in teal. Yellow, we have Randy with the Magyars. King Marv. Teutons, going to be in green. Blue for Somero with the Khmer. And then we have Ethiopians for Ronald Rage in red. And Censar with the Poles in gray. The monument, for those who are wondering, is very lit. And we already have some action here in the early going.
Yep, and just to summarize the tournament format a bit, the winner of this game is guaranteed a $40 prize and a spot in the finals to play for around a $700 grand prize. So for a two-round, two-game tournament, the prize is actually pretty handsome. And in free for all, honestly, anybody can take it. Obviously, like an 800 elo player would normally not have a chance against a 2300 player. But if the 2300 player is, attacked by a couple 2K players, the 800 player actually has, maybe it's only a 1% chance to take it, but it's actually conceivable.
Yeah, and as always with King of the Hill, if you own control of the center, you do have this ticking resources all the way across. So Teutonic Tanks fighting over it quite a bit and was able to hold on to it here. Going to be important with all that res coming in.
Yeah, and I bet he's running around on no attack stance now. There are high HP scouts in the game. He can't win a fight, but for every second he's on there, he gets a little bit of every res, including stone. I mean, I think it's the equivalent of like 3-4 villagers. So Teutonic Tanks is definitely in the lead now, just based off of how much resource he's able to suck out of the monument with his scout.
Yeah, it looks like Censar and Samiro know what's happening though, and we're gonna take care of this. They're gonna get him off of there. So this is good. Players are realizing early. A lot of these guys are experienced with free for all, right? So they all know the value of this, and they're gonna keep fighting over it. I like it. Otherwise, looks like we have Ronald Rage is just pushing some deer in here. Same for King Marv. Players who aren't contesting for the mid are just kind of scouting their resources, pushing in deer, and maybe just trying to prepare for the later game here.
Yeah. It would shock me if there's considerable feudal aggression from anybody. Anything more than even like a couple scouts just sets you back. I don't know. I actually know nothing about the strategy of free for all. Maybe it actually is optimal to try and kill your neighbors early and take their resources. I mean, the meta is so much looser, and it's just so much less conclusive what the correct thing is to do than in an RM 1v1.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of free for all tournaments that I'm aware of that have, a pretty decent prize pool other than King of the Hippo. I
Yep,
mean,
which I just heard is coming back. I thought that we were kind of reviving a dead format here, but it turns out that the tournament series we're basically copying with just a couple minor rules adjustments is still alive and kicking.
yeah, yeah. It's gonna be fun to see what happens too. And I like we're gonna ban civs, so like whatever civ wins this game. So let's say, for instance, who's holding the monument? Gray. So let's say the Poles win this game. We won't see Poles for the rest of the tournament. So that's gonna mix things up a bit. It's gonna be interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we have three rules variations. We have the Civ ban rule, we have the extra revealed land around the monument, and we have the 250 pop.
Yeah, I'm still not sold on that 250 pop. We'll see if it works out, but
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm not sold on that one.
Me neither. It certainly changes the balance. I mean, players are used to playing and watching with 250, I mean, with 200 pop. So it's going to be slightly awkward. I think it will probably make the games a little bit quicker, as I feel holding the monument is more possible. But I don't know, just kind of caved to popular pressure on that one. Also, didn't want a straight carbon copy of King of the Hippo, so we had to tweak something. Let's.
Yeah. So lots of fun things going on. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I look forward to who claims the pile of bananas for themselves every game, and we'll see how things pan out. Player level for this has actually been relatively high across the board. I was actually surprised we didn't have more players of all elos trying to participate. It's a lot of like 1,400 plus players.
1400 plus. We have almost nobody under 1600. About half are above 2K, it seems. And yeah, we have like a staggering number of top 100 players. There should be multiple 2K plus players per game. I know in tomorrow's qualifier we have Project Belgium. We got Kingston signed up, freaking Andy. A lot of big names, none of the biggest names, but a lot of big names.
Yeah, yeah. Well, freaking Andy and Kingston, for those who aren't familiar with the first Banano tournament we threw on last year, it was a 1v1 tournament. They were the finale of the high bracket, and that was a great series between those two. This is live, Weasel.
Yeah, as Sensar brings additional military units to mid, I agree with this. I mean, the res that he's making from mid vastly exceeds the cost of a couple spearmen. It looks like Sensar is going to hold this thing until at least Castle Age. I mean, it's not worth any non-monument holdings players' resources to try and contest it if he's putting this much military out there.
Yeah, for sure. Walls coming up all over now. Obviously, players are going to try to keep themselves pretty safe. Samara over here, very cut and dry right now. Looks like he's just going to try to boom up with it. Randy over here going for some walls. I mean, this is a free for all tournament for King of the Hill. It's not kill the player next to you, but there's a lot of risks that you could take if you do kill them. So King Marv looks like he's going to be up to Castle Age relatively quickly here, building the blacksmith in the market already. The anticipation, guys, is over. We're here. We're watching Banano 2, King of the Jungle. And, yeah, we're just waiting for the game to get into the deep stages. The middle has been heavily contested thus far, but yeah, like you said, Sensar holding this quite well here. And, I have his stats up here on the top. He's gaining quite a bit here.
Yeah, I mean, this is absolutely huge and totally worth it for him. And I actually will be playing in one of the later qualifiers myself, so I really should be taking notes on how these players do this. Yeah, he's definitely not like making a long-term play for the mid, but the resources he's getting now are just insane. As you see his score breaking away, I mean, look at his resources, man.
Oh yeah, he's been on it the longest by far. His population is the highest as well, with Ronald Rage being right behind him. But Samaro up down to 3 TCs already. He'll be catching up. Sonic Tank's adding another town center or two. Yeah, it looks like everyone's going for more of a boom. Bird Fan, our low elo legend over here, has some beautiful housing. He's even made them aesthetically pleasing. But for now, we'll see where he ends up. Hope he can do some damage to someone or take the mid. Like, that would be extremely entertaining for me. Oh! And Ronald Rage gives us some action here. He's not happy that Censar is taking all this res in the mid. He's sent archers.
Well, this is a bold move. Ronald Rage, I mean, he's not the low elo legend of the game, but he's kind of like the 1300 player in a game of 2K players. He's antagonizing his 2K neighbor here. It's kind of inconceivable to me that he's going to do considerable damage, and I kind of have a feeling that Censar is going to stomp him back for this.
Yeah, but at the same time, we have Guros Toby Bufus in the mid, and he's going to clean this up, it looks like. We close.
Very surprising. Yeah, he shows up with enough to force Censar off. This was actually, not quite enough, possibly.
No, he's got enough. It's just, well, yeah, he got the scout. Censar is busy. He's elsewhere, and so the banana pile changes hands.
Nice. Yeah, that was very nice. If he had sent just a little bit less or trickled it in, I feel like Censar might have had a chance to defend it. But by just showing up with precisely enough to take it down, Guras Toby Bufas takes it. And perhaps he's able to do that more confidently because the center is all visible. He can see precisely what Censar's holding it. So he knew exactly how many spearmen he needed to send to confidently take it down.
Yeah. I really like the situation we have with the mid being more exposed, more visible. Players will have a better idea of what they're facing off against. It could make it very difficult to hold. Curious that Ronald Rage has gone for aggression here. He is in Castle Age soon, I imagine, but he is only 1 TC, obviously, and only 2 players left in Feudal.
I mean, it's possible that it is defensive aggression, if there is such a thing, that he's doing this to, decrease his chances of getting caught out with no army.
Yeah. Definitely possible. Bird Fan stonewalling up half of his map over here. He wants to stay as safe as possible.
Bird Fan has definitely improved. That's actually like a solid-looking base. His Vil count is kind of respectable. I think the Bird Fan, I mean, while he is definitely the lowest elo player, I have confidence that he has the potential to show up in mid with 100 military at some point and take it down if the other players are negligent.
Well, Censar is making the first castle drop on the mid here, so he's gonna have a hard time completing this. Maybe we have a knight over here. We have a few spearmen here.
He could certainly wall these villagers in if he wanted to ensure this goes up. Yep, as the stone walls come down.
Yeah, it looks like he will manage to get this up. It was not looking to be the greatest. He will lose a couple vills in the process. Not the end of the world. But Censar is showing that he really wants to hold mid here. Samaro does have score lead, though. Samaro is on 4 TCs and dropping a 5th already. The elo for Samaro, I believe he's 2K plus.
Yeah, I think it was Samaro and King Marv are like 2K, 2K2, Censar's 2K3, Tanks is 1800. These differences I don't think are that considerable in a free-for-all, though. Like, once you get above 1600, I feel like you can pretty reliably reach pop cap, spam army, and besides that, I don't know how many of the other like 1v1 skills are really required for free-for-all. Like, a tight build doesn't really help that much. Sick quick walling doesn't really help that much. Micro's less important.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% sure what all it's going to mean at this point either. But I do see King Marv going for some insane stone walls. He's actually come very close to Randy over here. And Randy's just booming is not a thing to take away this potential stone wall on this side. Just scout.
Yep, and Samaro is definitely winning the boom game, already at nearly He's actually at 90 vills already. Plus, he's Pole, so those vills are probably additionally productive, especially in the food department. And yeah, with 250 pop, I think some of these players are literally going to boom to 200 plus vills before they start making any military moves.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what makes it interesting holding the center here. We have Samaro with the score lead. He has a significant Vill lead, 100 Vills now for him. Closest to him is 77, 78 for King Marv. But we're going to see more castles coming up here for Sensar in the mid. And I mean,
Yep.
he has tons of res coming in for this.
Yep, and notice the Castle Foundation has that beautiful Banano logo on it. Yep, these are just a couple of the features of this Banano graphics mod. I'm sure we will see the final feature of it in due time. And yeah, a little background actually. Tanks told me right before the game that him, Samaro, Sensar, King Marv, and Randy are actually friends and play together often. So these guys will certainly be highly familiar with each other.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing how this breaks down, though, because right now, obviously, everyone's pretty spread out with villager count. It's very much looking like Samaro is just going to have a boom of his life going on over here. And with Khmer, or yeah, he's Khmer. What could we see? Ballista elephants potentially? Oh wait, Ronald Rage being the antagonist yet again.
Wow,
So
he's attacking pro players on both sides. A very bold strategy.
yeah, he's 3 TCs now. He has obviously a limited economy, 59 fills, and he is trying to be aggressive here. And I like it. I like it a lot, actually. I will always wonder who's going to be the wild card in these positions, and Ronald Rage is filling that right now. King Marv, though, can we appreciate the stone walls? Like, this is a whole corner of the map, and he would be very safe at this point.
As safe as you can be behind a single layer of stone wall. I mean, like even if they become fortified walls, 3 petards can render those walls useless in a moment.
Sure, sure. But I like it. I like it. It makes someone have to invest a little bit more to deal with the situation. Sensar, man, he's gonna go to the Imperial Age. He's got castles. He's gonna drop another castle, so he's making a strong case that he's gonna try to hold this.
Yep. And the countdown is actually getting there. It's about to cross the 200-year mark. Sensar, with his fortified position, looks like he's going to actually make a genuine go of holding mid from the start. Yeah, I hope I'm not leaking too much information, but I've been told that there are 3 fundamental ways to hold mid. One is with a massive castles, one is with a death ball, and one is with spam. And Sensar is getting a legit mass of castles up here. Like none of these players are close to making their center pushing armies. I'm starting to think that Sensar has a real shot at taking this off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, his economy, although it's not the greatest, is at 93 vills right now. Holding the mid, he has a good position. He's getting the privileges now, so we will have some Cavalier spam from him before too long. Still plenty of time, but obviously it is something he's going to have to be concerned about. Ronald Rage is just trying to pick a fight over here, and he's gotten a response. So we do see a lot of Ballista Elephants right now. We'll see if that is the case come late game. We do have a few castles producing them here. But, again, the mid will be under contest before long. I don't really know what we should favor as far as civilization choices for this, to be honest. It's going to be difficult. Obviously, a lot of strong civs. So, I don't know. You have any ideas about that one?
Well, I'm intrigued by the fact that 2 of the players were fighting over Slavs. Like, Druzina is insane. Their unique unit, the Boyar, is really good in a lot of matchups. The cheaper siege with fully teched out everything is really useful as well. Being able to just like put a bunch of cheap siege rams in the middle is like possibly the most HP efficient unit in the game. So Slavs is good. Poles is generally just a 6 civ. I mean, I love them. The gold for stone bonus, like the cheap cavalier, the good hussar. They have a lot going for them. I don't know how it translates to free for all though. I mean, hussar spam is not ideal.
Yeah. It's interesting. We have some chatter going on here. 200 years. Samara says. King Marv says, "You go attack. You're under. You have the score lead." He's complaining of being attacked by full castle age play here. It's getting heated up here, and Samaro has a defensive position here behind Teutonic tanks. Like, this is something that Teutonic tanks is probably really pissed off about. He's actually sending trebs now, and he actually castled this town center, stonewalled things up. So they're going to be clashing, but at the same time, the mid will have to be pushed at some point.
Yep, and that point grows sooner and sooner. And who's going to do it? King Marv and Randy, I guess, are both two full-strength players who don't have any side engagements. So I would figure that either Marv or Randy will have the capacity to push mid. But at the same time, there's kind of a game of chicken that's played where if you think that you might be able to wait and have another player...
we have the hussar on the field, guys. These monkeys are actually hussar. So this is just for the mod itself and continue with the Banano theming. But we have them. Finally.
Yep. Yep, looking good. These monkeys are just a reskin of the hussar.
Yeah, no additional statistics or anything.
But yeah, looking good. I like it.
Yeah, and it looks like Teutonic tanks will be able to clean this up here before too long. We need to take out the castle, the stables. Obviously, there's villagers back here. But, yeah, not too big of a deal. We have a threat over here. King Marv says go away. He sent some Teutonic knights in. And that pushes Samaro back. Samaro is destroying Ronald Rage right now, though.
Yeah, for the longest time, Samaro has had double his score. I'm sure Ronald Rage has felt that he's facing an enemy of superior strength. And Ronald Rage is trashed now. I think that he's functionally eliminated from the game. I expect players to cling in this. They'll probably end up retreating to the corner and rebuilding.
It's so hard, though. That's the problem. And we are down to 140 years. No one contesting mid. We don't see any military coming forward. Looks like King Marv is going to do something about it, though. Teutons, he's got a castle coming up. Has halves. Trebs are coming forward. Censar is raiding Samaro as well. So really, Ronald Rage has made this quite difficult for Samaro because now he has to continue attacking or retreat from that position and defend himself, as well as try to contest mid right now.
Yeah, but by defeating Ronald Rage, he's possibly gaining access to all of his res for the late game. Censar doesn't take it down right now. Samaro's in a phenomenal position.
Yeah, I feel like Samaro should just turn back now, though, with all this military and head home or head mid. But right now, we do see that King Marv is going to start to try to deal with this. He will have great units. Teutons versus Poles, not a bad matchup at all. But this is very heavily fortified. Military spam is slowly coming to mid here.
Yeah, and the player defending mid, they're comfortable allocating 100% of their attention, resources, military, everything to the defense, whereas everybody else, they tend to just want to poke and keep as much in reserve as possible. I think a second player besides King Marv needs to contest this. If it is just 1v1 to Censar versus Marv, I feel like Censar could actually hold it.
Yeah, we've been missing a lot of action here in this South because Randy and Gurus Toby Bufus have been fighting heavily over here, and it continues. So we have only a few players not really contesting anything right now, and that would be Ronald Rage, who's just trying to survive, and Birdfan. Everyone else is fighting somewhere.
Yep, as our three lowest elo players are trailing in the score here.
Mid's not looking too well secured here, though. We only have a few castles. There's one Obuk, and there's 5 vills. Looks like more Obuk will be created to counter the Halb. but this
It,
could be some way back in. And we have SO already on the field for Teutons as well.
yeah, Sensar is not going to make a genuine attempt to hold this. He'll make a token attempt. He'll keep units there. He'll force at least one player to commit a little bit to take it, but I don't know. I don't know. I guess he's maybe teasing the idea of going at it hard. Clearly, he's not fully committing himself to this hold with just a few Obu there.
Yeah, and Teutonic Tank sees how the middle's going. He's cleaning up his base, and he's decided that Bird Fan will be his victim to take his res from him here, it looks like. So, Bird Fan is going to be in a rough position here. Ronald Rage is in the worst position, though, as he has retreated to the corner. Will try to survive, but will be rough. As we see a lot of Ballista Elephants, elite Ballista Elephants, slaughtering Vills here from Sensor. And,
Yep. Sensar has abandoned mid. He got a lot of reds from it. It was decent for his opening, but it's time to go.
yeah, but hey, we are seeing the mid fight heating up, guys. It is getting later and later, and obviously the 100-year mark will reset, but Ballista Elephants are a great unit, but there's SO here.
Yeah,
Not
I think
what you want
SO.
to see if you're with
Yeah,
one of the Ballista Elephants.
as far as I know, SO is the premium counter to Ballista Elephants. As yeah, each one of those hits takes just so much HP across all the units.
Yep.
The mono ballista composition, I don't know if that can work.
Bird fans, 60 years, stop attacking me. Bird fan is just gonna get overrun here. Shout outs to Bird fan, low elo legend of the tournament here, but looks like we'll have Teutonic Tanks taking him out before long. We do have some Polish winged hussar coming in, but not gonna be able to do much here. The fight for middle, as Guras Toby Bufus just loses a ton of Cavalier. Samaro has the high score, but against all of this SO, I don't know what he can do right now. He needs to add something to deal with this.
Yeah, very interesting to see two players with basically like maxed out Imperial armies just posturing near mid, neither of them wanting to commit to making a run of it at this point.
Bird fan is begging for his life. Teutonic Tanks looks like he might respect this, and he is going to back off. So, shoutouts to Teutonic Tanks for letting the man survive a little bit longer.
Yeah, there's no diplomacy officially, but if you want to beg somebody to stop attacking you, that's on the table.
Teutonic Tanks is... Oh, he deleted it in time. I was going to say he's going to lose this castle to SL. King Marv is in an excellent position here, though. He has great units to counter what's coming at him, but we do have a lot of players going to be vying for mid, so gonna be rough.
Yeah, and Teutonic Tanks actually with a tremendous population lead. He's over 200 when the next... Oh, I'm just looking at the bills. Okay, we have a couple pop-capped players here. Samaro, King Marv, and Tanks, all at the limit.
Yep. Sensar has sent his winged hussar over here to further decimate the Ronald Rage remains. Ronald Rage down to 19 pop at this point. Made it interesting early and didn't do himself any favors with that.
Yeah, when I play my qualifier, I'm definitely not going to go for standard aggression on my neighbors. I think a later build up to a more fortified base is probably the way to go, especially if my neighbors are like 2K players or something. I wouldn't have too much faith in my ability to really take them out.
Yeah, and everyone's saying they can't beat him alone, so they're worried about King Marv holding this. And currently, it will be hard to do, but they think he's going to push him off mid. There's nothing in the middle after these few units go down.
Yeah, these helbs are just trash. They are not going to be able to get any damage in here. They're just pure meat.
Everyone's working together, though. They don't want King Marv to take this. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. Currently,
Well,
King Marv, I think if he continues to spam and send everything, he might be able to hold this, which feels crazy to say this early on, but
yeah, it's really only Samaro that's given it his all to try and push him back. 30 years is a long time, however, and there's a lot of military from all the players here.
yeah,
If
Sensar's
they,
diving on the SO, the Trebs from Teutonic Tanks push this back. We have the elite Magyar Hussar from Randy showing up. Looks like it's going to get cleaned up. Oof.
there is some chatter in the Discord. Apparently, Samaro dropped, but there was a save.
Ooh.
Um,
Alright, so this is going to end up. We're going to be leaving here, guys, and coming back with the save then.
Yep, the players seem to agree about it. I'm sure not everybody's in Discord chat. Teutonic Tank says, okay, let me confirm in them that.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll say yes, go.
So, like you guys just heard, there was a drop, unfortunately. So, the video is just going to fast forward here, and then we'll pick right up when we were to resume. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Huge shout outs to Medora for sponsoring the event, and for NEHK for the mods, as well as Jabari for all of his admin work. Enjoy. Airman is now in the AI position, so we'll see how long he lasts. He actually has a good position in game, and if the AI were to win this, I would laugh.
I think
But
there's zero chance of that. These 2K players eat hard AIs for breakfast, and I'm
yeah, I
not
know.
even. And I would expect they didn't make it hard.
I just think that would be hilarious. But hopefully we're good to go here. Uh, we're waiting for the game to boot up again, obviously. We do have a second game after this coming here in about 30-35 minutes with a scheduled start time. That will be on Jungle Arena. We have a whole batch of a new lineup here for that. And we are back in. Teutonic Tanks here does have a lot of SO. Bombard Tower here from King Marv. And we do have a fight between Randy and King Marv, but it looks like King Marv is taking that pretty handily here. Looks like Sensar is not happy with the reboom over here, so he's going to try to deal with Ronald Rage. Bird fan still in a rough position. Oh, okay. Big stone wall play here from Teutonic Tanks coming in. He's going to do everything he can to secure the mid.
Yep, and Teutonic Tanks, as I was saying from the start, kind of a favorite for this game based off of his performance in similar tournaments. It looks like he's making his genuine move for mid here. He's got his walls, he's got his spam buildings ready. He has a pretty decent ball of units already here. There's a lot of enemy units here.
Yeah, but
And
he
it
has
also,
the counters. It's going to be so hard.
yeah, Druzina champion, I guess just longswords at this time, absolutely shred helps. These are cheaper siege onagers. He's got the spam. He's got the walls.
Yeah, everyone needs to start chatting here. They need to go mid. They need to deal with this.
Yeah, and that giant ball of Khmer ballista elephants is actually kind of an asset for anybody who wants to hold mid right now, as it's kind of defending the side of the monument a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's going to be rough. Looks like we are going to see Skirmisher from our Magyar player, as well as the elite Magyar Hussar here coming to mid, but obviously the walls are here. King Marv also kind of walled this up a bit. And yeah, these ballista elephants making things difficult here. Oh, looks like we have some GGs coming in already.
Ooh, I personally would never resign in one of these games, but Ronald Rage is definitely justified in it. At this point, his chance of victory is low single digits, possibly less than 1%.
Yeah, and the mid is looking to be very difficult to take right now as well.
Yeah, as Teutonic Tanks is really hunkering down to hold this. Those Ballista Elephants playing such good defense for him. Um, these walls are a really smart move here, as melee units are not going to be able to touch this. Ranged units are not going to be able to clear it up entirely. Honestly, this looks checkmate to me, man. It's difficult to imagine this getting pushed. I mean, look at the mini map. The solid orange all over the center is insane.
Yeah, and we have some Sensor here attacking the base, really not doing much good. He is tracking some units back, but no siege forward. We have only Teutonic Tanks really contesting as hard as he can, it looks like.
Yep, a few units glitched into the banana pile as well, so ranged units will be necessary to take that out. The players should be screaming at each other to have everybody go full mid at this moment.
Yeah, it's with the spam and the mid secured like this, I think Teutonic Tanks is going to take this one pretty handily here.
Yep. Wow, his reputation is being lived up to here, as honestly, it looks like he's taking the game handily. Yeah, his first go at mid early in the game, and he's just locking it down, kind of taking advantage of that abrupt drop. Seems like he never lost his focus, even though there was like 20 minutes of downtime there.
Yeah, I mean the push in the mid is heating up, but it's I don't know if it's going to be enough time. His eco's dead, Sensar says,
I
but
mean,
it doesn't matter if you have all these in the mid here.
yeah, even if they clear mid, essentially, they're going to have to cut his reinforcements. And look at that flood. Like 5 new units are stepping into mid every second.
Yep, 4 years left. It's going to be extremely insane if they can do this, but Gareth Toby Boofus just now showing up with Paladin. Those will just get shredded here.
Yep,
And
as Teutonic Tanks comfortably takes it. What a pro. What a King of the Hill free for all pro this Teutonic Tanks is.
yeah, crazy game. Unfortunate with the drop and all of that, but we'll work that out with Samara later. Teutonic Tanks takes game one here. We'll take the prize pool winnings for this one, and qualify for the finale.
Yep.
GG's.
And yeah, kind of proves that 1v1 RM Elo is not especially determining of who's the favorite here. Yeah, he was out Elo'd by like 500 by a couple of these guys, and yeah, it definitely didn't show in the final performance.
Yeah. They agree. The restore sucks. And obviously it does, guys. It's not ideal, but this is the best solution we could come up with at the time. GG's. Congrats to Teutonic Tanks. He's going to make it into the finale here. And, yeah, everyone else essentially eliminated.
There's no essentially about it. They're out. We appreciate their participation. All good sports. All showed up today on time. And yeah, good luck in Banano 3, all you guys.